Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
This is Kim,
This is Andy.
and we're going to read to you from the Urantia book
First, we're going to read Light the Flame
by Andrew Harvey.
Andrew Harvey. Today it's from Dorothy Walters.
Dorothy Walters is an she pioneered women's rights in the 1970s. She American or is she British?
American, I think.
She was born in there you go, Oklahoma. She's born in 1928 in Oklahoma, and she's still kicking. So, hey, Dorothy. All right. Do you want to go?
Yep. Dorothy has a prayer to Isis.
Okay.
I'm sure not the same Isis that we're familiar with.
Oh, not the one,
today.
not the
Not that Isis.
no. This is the goddess, the
Yeah.
Egyptian Isis goddess. Yeah.
My call is to Isis, she of the shining spirit. Isis, come among us, we who enter the timeless together. O Isis, let me be your creature to serve you. Let me sleep beneath your breast where energy flows. Isis, let your voice come into my throat, your presence unwind the dance in its slow spiral. That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, championing feminine,
Mm-hmm.
the female
Feminine
divine,
studies.
the divine feminine. That's what it means. Divine feminine.
Yeah.
We're championing the divine feminine today. Okay.
That would be you.
Well, I don't know. I'm feminine. Yeah.
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 Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're going to read from the Urantia book. Yes. Yes. Okay. And we've got paper 27, the ministry of the primary seraphim. Supernaphim. Sorry. Supernaphim.
Supernaphim.
I think we've decided to pronounce it supernaphim instead of supernaphim.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
Is better?
I think supernaphim sounds better.
Okay. All right. So we're on section 1, the instigators of rest. So these are angels that are on paradise, and they teach us. I think we read about the secondary supernaphim who teach us how to approach paradise. Now these guys, after we've approached paradise, this is how I'm understanding this. These angels are teaching us about the possibilities of going out and serving as finaliters, and what should we do next now that you're perfect and you can be with God in the person. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So then, like, that's, you've climbed the mountaintop, you've experienced the peak of peaks, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So now what? Okay, so that's where these guys step in, is what I'm feeling.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, so these are primary supernaphim. Okay, instigators of rest. The instigators of rest are the inspectors of paradise who go forth from the central aisle to the inner circuit of Havona, there to collaborate with their colleagues, the complements of rest. So there's the instigators of rest, and there's the complements of rest,
Mm-hmm.
of the secondary order of supernaphim. The one essential to the enjoyment of paradise is rest, divine rest. And these instigators of rest are the final instructors who make ready the pilgrims of time for their introduction to eternity. They begin their work on the final attainment circle of the central universe and continue it when the pilgrim awakes from the last transition sleep, the slumber which graduates a creature of space into the realm of the eternal. So I think it's so interesting here. This is also evidence again that people didn't write this,
Mm-hmm.
especially not an American,
Mm-hmm.
because we don't. In this society, we don't put a lot of emphasis on rest. You need to rest.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like you need to go. You need to achieve. You need to be
Mhm.
more. You need to do all this. So that's how much self-help material have you read that's about resting?
Not too much.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Okay, when they're talking about like rest and recreation, and here they've got two major orders of beings that are
Mhm.
both about rest.
Mhm.
Okay, I mean, I think a human person would have probably said, okay, we got that covered if we're going to address it at all,
Mhm.
you know, or if when you graduate to perfection, why would you need rest?
Because you've been on a long journey.
Okay. Okay.
Now's the time to rest.
I think just that's really beautiful in there. But rest is of a sevenfold nature. Who would have thought?
Mhm.
A sevenfold nature.
Mhm.
There is the rest of sleep and of play in the lower life orders, discovery in the higher beings. So discovery is a form of rest. And worship in the highest type of spirit personality. Okay, so that's four kinds of rest. And worship is a kind of rest. Who'd have thought?
Who would have thought?
There are also the normal rest of energy intake. Okay, that one I get. The recharging of beings with physical or with spiritual energy. And then there is the transit sleep. Okay, so it's five, that's six. The unconscious slumber when in seraphim, when in passage from one sphere to another. So that's transit sleep. Entirely different from all of these is the deep sleep of metamorphosis.
You change into a butterfly.
Yeah, the transition rest from one stage of being to another, from one life to another, from one state of existence to another. The sleep which ever attends transition from actual universe status in contrast to evolution through various stages of any one status. From actual universe status to evolution through various stages of any one status. That's hard to get.
Mhm.
But the last metamorphic sleep is something more than those previous transition slumbers which have marked the successive status attainments of the ascendant career. Thereby do the creatures of time and space traverse the innermost margins of the temporal and the spatial to attain residential status in the timeless and spaceless abodes of paradise. So this is a bigger sleep, a bigger kind of rest. The instigators and the complements of rest are just as essential to this transcending metamorphosis as are the seraphim and associated beings to the mortal creature's survival of death. Okay?
Mhm.
You read.
You enter the rest on the final Havona circuit and are eternally resurrected on paradise. And as you there spiritually repersonalize, you will immediately recognize the instigator of rest who welcomes you to the eternal shores as the very primary supernaphim who produced the final sleep on the innermost circuit of Havona. And you will recall the last grand stretch of faith as you once again made ready to commend the keeping of your identity into the hands of the Universal Father. The last rest of time has been enjoyed, the last transition sleep has been experienced. Now you awake to life everlasting on the shores of the eternal abode, and there shall be no more sleep. The presence of God and His Son are before you, and you are eternally His servants. You have seen His face, and His name is your spirit. There shall be no night there, and they need no light of the sun, for the great source in the center gives them light. They shall live forever and ever, and God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes. There shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things have passed away.
Wow.
Wow.
And that's a quote here
Hmm.
from, it's interesting too how this book quotes, they'll put these quotes here, but they won't
Mm-hmm.
credit who made that, who
Mm-hmm.
said that.
Mm-hmm.
But in this quote here, there should be no more sleep.
Hmm.
So after this here, you won't need to, but here, and I think there's different kinds of sleep here that wasn't really enumerated very clearly, but
This must be a different kind of sleep. It's hard to
transit
imagine.
sleep, metamorphosis sleep.
It's hard to imagine there being no darkness and the light from God just illuminating everything all the time. My former life might try to break through and go, somebody turn the light out. I need to sleep.
You think so?
Well, it's just a thought. Of
I
course,
mean, I like sleep.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm living here in the world where we need rest and sleep every day. But I guess it's hard to imagine being in a place where you don't need that. There must be something else.
Mm-hmm.
I just wish for eternal joy all the time.
Well, yeah. Well, I think, I don't know how I feel about, of course, you don't know what it's going to be like then. But you'll be in this perfected state.
We won't need sleep.
Okay. You think so?
Mm-hmm. We won't have a material body that needs to be regenerating itself every day. We'll be pure energy.
Well, in thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And our thoughts are creative.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be like creative energy.
Mm-hmm.
We can build lots of bridges,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's really fascinating. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We're going to let you go. We have to go today.
Going to church.
Of course, happy Sunday. Yep, it's church day.
Have a great day.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.